And welcome in, everyone, once again inside Hanson Memorial Stadium. I'm JJ Sylvia, joined alongside myself by my cousin and partner and SB student legend, Mr. Carter Sylvia. For the first time this season, we are bringing you SB Boys Lax here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. And Carter, the New Bedford Whalers coming into town, an 0-3 record on the season, coming in to take on the 1-0 Raiders, coming off their first victory in program history. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big win for SB on Monday against Taunton, 7-5 win. First time really scoring a lot of goals in the game as well, 7 goals. But I talked to them in the pregame. They really want to focus on shooting from the outside so they can get more net front presence.
Flag already flying here in this one, as picking up the ground ball for New Bedford is Tommy Mock. Ball hits the deck again. Gavin Rodriguez trying to scoop it up. Rodriguez, one of the more highly touted players on this Raiders squad as an LSM, already has an offer from Maine Maritime to play college lacrosse as a junior. And Carter, Rodriguez is one of your teammates on the Somerset Berkley boys ice hockey team, so must be nice to see some of your teammates out there today on the field.
Yeah, John. I mean, especially for Gavin, he puts a lot of effort into playing lacrosse, puts a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So it's great to see him really find something he's really good at, and hopefully he carries on in college.
Raiders getting set up in their offensive end to start. Based on what I'm seeing in warm-ups, the Raiders usually tend to swing it around a lot more, a slow and methodical offensive approach that tended to work in their favor in a very gritty matchup against Taunton, where they got that first victory in program history. Looking like the ball will be going back to New Bedford possession. And Dakota Matthew will get it started for them in just a moment.
It looks like the ref called a tripping penalty on New Bedford, so looks like the Raiders will be going up.
So the Raiders will have a man up in the early going of this contest. Elliot Lindbergh will start it out for the Raiders in the near alley. Quick substitution in for the Raiders as Angel Gonzalez takes a step into this one. Gavin Rodriguez will head off for the moment. Lindbergh gets us started as he'll give and go. Lindbergh up top. A big wind-up in the first shot, stopped for the goaltender for New Bedford, Emilio Tirado. Raiders keep it off a ground ball. Back up top. Another firing and another stop for Emilio Tirado. So 2 shots on that one from Sam Raposa and one from Angel Gonzalez for the Raiders, but no goals yet. New Bedford looking to respond. Matthew Pereira gets a screen, but he was glued to quite well by Nick San Martin. San Martin trying to pick up the ground ball. Looking like it will be Raider possession.
Great warding there by Kalani. I mean, just really staying on his man, not letting him get out of his grasp, and great job to change possession.
Rodriguez with a ton of speed. The LSM, he'll step in, trying to skip that one in. Goes just wide on the right side. Closest to the ball was Caius Mari, so the Raiders will keep it after the missed shot. Ground ball picked up by Carlos Lux, one of the captains for New Bedford. Whalers looking to move forward and establish some presence in their offensive end of the field. Misael Dominguez coming in to help out. Dominguez heading east to west, trying to get to the middle, puts a shot on, and it's stopped by Chase Vaught. Vaught had 15 saves for the Raiders in their victory over Taunton. Somerset Berkley going quickly north to south, and now they'll set up once more. Already a couple shots on for them here in the first, so they'll look to tack on more and potentially grab the first tally. About 8 minutes, 40 seconds left. Kalani Mari stepping in. He tries a skip as well. That one will not go. Skips over Closest, once again, is Caius Mari.
As you can see there, John, that sweep move there by Kalani was really just kind of a sweep under the guy, really went right around him, and it looks like they're going with the game plan they told me earlier. Really just these outside shots. They're really just trying to pepper it as.
First tally of the game belongs to Elliot Lindbergh. Give him 3 now on the season after a 2-goal performance against Taunton, and it's 1-0 Somerset Berkley.
Great play there by Lindbergh. Really just cut into the back door of the net, leaving him wide open. That was how he scored a lot of his goals last game against Taunton. Those backdoor type of feeds, kind of sort of like in hockey, how you kind of pass it back doors, a guy wide open, the defenseman literally leaves him wide open.
Back to midfield we go. A fast start for Somerset Berkley, now seeking their 2nd win in program history, and this would be the first at home. Picking up the ground ball is Kalani Mari. He'll settle down near the alley. Mari has help all around him as the Raiders make a few substitutions. Rodriguez out and Sam Raposa back in. Now Aaron Preston looking to step into a shot. He got snuck up on by Marcio Ferreira. Ball's on the ground. Ferreira trying to grab it. Lindbergh there as well for the Raiders. He had it initially, but got pushed away from him. Closest to it as it goes out of bounds is Marcio Ferreira. So the Whalers will keep possession, at least for the moment. Looks like the call may have actually gone against my previous assumptions. So the Raiders will have it. Into the middle, Aaron Preston score! Aaron Preston got a beautiful pass from outside right into the middle, and he had a wide open lane for the shot there, Carter.
Yeah, I mean, really impressive play there from Mari to Aaron Preston, one of my teammates on the hockey team, and really just a great cut, finding that open space, receiving the ball really well, just catch and shoot 1 second on, 1 second off his stick, bang, goal.
An early 2-0 advantage. And the 2 guys who led the way in scoring for the Raiders against Taunton, starting off very much the same here against New Bedford. 1 for Lindbergh and 1 for Preston. 2-0 Raiders. Still about 7 minutes to go here in the first. Rodriguez to grab the ground ball. He has a lane. Rodriguez, the fake, the shot. Another skip attempt that hops up and over Emilio Tirado. Raiders will keep it with Caius Mari. Caius and his brother Kalani, both from Joseph Case High School, as part of a ongoing co-op in multiple sports between Somerset Berkley and Joseph Case. Now Gabe Gonzalez for Kalani Mari, and they will give and go. Raiders slow and methodical, but they could strike at any moment, as we saw with that last Preston tally. Gonzalez looking to get one of his own, bobbing and weaving. Thought about the backhand, now tries the skip. Believe Emilio Tirado got a piece of it. Raiders still pressuring. Caius Mari will find his brother Kalani. Kalani Mari looking to go east to west, got shut down, so he'll give it up. Now to the far side, Aaron Preston. Raiders doing a lot of cross-field passing, trying to create some gaps in the New Bedford defense. On the charge, Lindbergh put it just wide. That was William Lindbergh that time. Carter, I do believe Elliot and William, are they brothers or cousins?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're brothers, John. And what I really like from Somerset Berkley early is it's been constant pressure in the offensive zone. I mean, New Bedford's maybe been in the defense in their offensive zone maybe 1 or 2 times. So the Raiders definitely have been following the game plan. It's been really working as that shot's blocked from Aaron Preston.
Preston had it blocked by Dakota Matthew. He's one of the captains for this New Bedford squad. I spoke to their head coach, Chase Elaine, before the game today, and Elaine had a lot positive to say about Dakota Matthew in terms of his presence on the defensive end, and he showed it right there with a stingy block on one of the goal scorers already in this one for the Raiders and Aaron Preston. Under 5.5 to play here in the first. 2-0 Somerset, and they're looking to add more. Caius Mari on a give and go with Aaron Preston. Preston into the middle. Lindbergh, he scores! Put it low to the right side of Emilio Tirado. Raiders really piling it on early in this one. Second of the game thus far for Elliot Lindbergh.
And it was very similar to the second goal the Raiders scored when Aaron Preston cut to the middle. Same there with Lindbergh. Cut to the middle, catch and release goal. I mean, if you're going to keep just leaving him wide open in the middle, I mean, it's going to be a long night for New Bedford.
That's probably going to be a focus point for head coach Chase Elaine for the Whalers the rest of the way. They really need to find a strategy for neutralizing the middle of the field for that Raider offense, or it is going to be an onslaught of goals similar to what we've seen in the early portion of this one. Now Gavin Rodriguez, the LSM, gets on the charge. He fires, still unsuccessful on those skips. Caius Mari starting us out again. Mari wearing number 27 today for the Raiders, which is a tradition that was started by Coach Strangolagali. And it really was that tradition by Strangolagali. It's a tradition that he started to honor one of his former teammates who actually died of cancer. His teammate wore number 27, and he really always picks a player and puts it somewhat on Gavin Rodriguez, because Rodriguez being one of the leaders on the team, he puts it on Rodriguez to kind of decide a player that shows both relentlessness and grit, which is, two qualities that Strangolagali's teammate demonstrated on a daily basis. Inside for Caius Mari. He was smothered on the back end by Dakota Matthew. Matthew caused an initial turnover. Ball back on the ground, will be scooped up. Almost. Still a ton of battling for it. Now the Raiders come away for the moment. Ball pinballing all across the field here in New Bedford, trying to grab possession of it in their defensive end. And now the Raiders on the charge with Kalani Mari. Mari weaves by two, the fake pass, the shot, score! Beautiful work by Kalani Mari, nearly doing it himself there, and he skips it in for the fourth Raider goal here in the first.
Yeah, nice goal there by Kalani Mari. A little coast-to-coast, as we like to call it in the business, and it was really just a great play all around. Even while getting pushed on the sideline, he keeps possession, bobbed and weaved between three defenders, and scores.
A good mix of everything thus far for the Raiders on the offensive end. Some individual efforts as well as some great passing plays to set up goals. Raiders showing a lot of diversity in their offensive playbook thus far, and it's impressive under a second-year head coach in Phil Strangolagali.
Yeah, I mean, the game plan's definitely been working, but I think as you go deeper into your schedule and you start playing some even tougher opponents, you're going to have to find even more things to do, a lot more the ways to beat defenses, because I think as you play deeper in your schedule, especially in the SEC, the competition is going to be a lot tougher.
Games like this can still serve to be important for a team like the Raiders, who, again, they're still trying to gel together and really get an understanding for the better nuances of the game, because when you're a brand new program, you really just have to build from the ground up in a lot of ways. First big chance for New Bedford, and there's the tally that the Whalers needed, and it comes off the stick of Misael Dominguez, one of the captains. Perhaps the Raiders will have to be careful now in the middle of the field on the defensive end, Carter.
Yeah, for sure, John. I mean, you can't. Once again, it's one of those shots that he just cuts to the middle, and it was honestly a great play there by Dominguez, and I think they may have found a weakness in the Raiders' defense and in Chase Vaught, just shooting it low and just trying to get shots on net.
I believe that was the first shot of the day that Vaught has faced, so it's a tough go. Maybe the second, but a tough go nonetheless for number 6, who put on a strong 15-save effort, only allowing 5 goals on 20 shots total against Taunton. Rodriguez to pick up the ground ball. He's been flying all over the field thus far, but no goals for him yet. Maybe he can get one here. Back inside for Rodriguez. He had 3 Whalers that all converged on him, so now New Bedford looks to move forward. Javanir Azari weaving through the midfield, gets smacked by Gavin Rodriguez. That'll warrant a penalty. We'll play until change of possession. Dominguez inside, he scores! Misael Dominguez back to back, and it's a 2-goal game.
Once again, great job there by Dominguez. Another individual effort for the goal, and the Raiders really got to start watching out because that's 2 goals on 3 shots, and hopefully the Raiders, for their sake, can really find a way to just prevent whatever's going on.
So what was once bad is now getting worse for the Raiders. They just had a tally put in on them, and now they have to go a man down as well, as Rodriguez will take a knee. 2:36 to go here in the first, and the New Bedford Whalers over the past few minutes storming back into this one after a very slow start, but they have just been propelled by a strong offensive effort by Misael Dominguez. Carter, there was rain in the forecast before I was able to wake up this morning. I was checking the weather last night. It looked like it was going to be pouring for most of the day, but we got super lucky here in Somerset this afternoon. Low 70s, nice breeze, sun's out. Yeah, there are some clouds, but still the sun's out. You can't ask for much better weather at the beginning of April.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely great weather, John, and I think it really helps the players as well because, especially if it's a really wet and rainy day, it's really hard to keep your feet on the ground, not a lot of traction, along with controlling the ball if your stick's wet, and it's really it would be hard to shoot and pass, so really lucked out for the players.
Now the Raiders getting set up again. They're in need of an answer to the recent onslaught by the Whalers. Caius Mari, below goal, trying to wrap back in front. Had a stone wall created in front of him by Alexander Depina Macedo. Depina Macedo, definitely a large presence in that defensive end for New Bedford. Now Depina Macedo picking up that ground ball. He'll turn on the Jets and head upfield as he's chased by Angel Gonzalez. Depina Macedo trying to head towards the middle. Wasn't able to get there as Angel Gonzalez was able to catch up to him. Matthew Pereira looking towards the middle. Whistle will stop play. Carter, what did you see there?
Yeah, I mean, great defense there by Hunter Schofield, really just bashing at his stick, and it was really impressive to watch. And I think that's the type of defense the Raiders really need to keep playing because if they don't and they start easing up on defense, Dominguez will come down with a lot of good individual efforts and put the ball in the back of the net.
Still 1:24 to go here in the first, so it looks like a timeout was taken. Carter Sylvia and I will take it with these two squads. We'll be right back here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. Welcome back into Hanson Memorial Stadium, everyone. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you for Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. A 4-2 Raider advantage in the late portion of this first quarter. 1 minute, 24 seconds left. Matthew Pereira, the senior, will start out the attack for New Bedford. Pereira going low. Savian Kudo. Kudo swings it over to the far side as New Bedford gets set up. Logan Alves quickly met by Kalani Mari, so he'll retreat. Alves to the far side. Misael Dominguez, who already has 2 for New Bedford, looking for the early hat trick. Dominguez fires just wide. You can tell there's a lot of urgency from these New Bedford forwards over the past few minutes, especially from guys like Dominguez, who has shown he can really be a catalyst on the offensive end for the Whalers, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, he's really had a great start to his game today, but I think for the Whalers, they really need to find more players to step up because what I've seen so far, they got some talented players, and I think they can really actually make this a really close game and give the Raiders a tough fight.
Kalani Mari fighting his way down the near alley. He was being chased by Logan Alves, and now the Raiders settle down, get a few fresh legs onto the field. Gonzalez putting it just wide. Clock stopped with 4 seconds left in the first. This will be the last opportunity for Somerset Berkley here. Caius Mari with 0 on the clock. There's the horn, and quarter number 1 comes to an end with a 4-2 Somerset Berkley lead. 2 goals for Elliot Lindbergh, 1 for Aaron Preston, and 1 for Kalani Mari for the Raiders, and then Misael Dominguez with both tallies for the New Bedford Whalers. As we look towards quarter number 2, Carter Sylvia and I take a step aside once more here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. Back here in Somerset on a gorgeous Friday afternoon here at Hanson Memorial Stadium. I'm JJ Sylvia. Carter Sylvia back with me as well. And Carter, we were talking pregame about how Somerset Berkley came in as, statistically at the very least, the favorite in this game. They started out pretty much resembling those prognostications, but the New Bedford Whalers at the end of that first quarter, an impressive push back, especially from one of their best in Misael Dominguez.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good momentum push for the Whalers, but I think the Raiders, they came into this game thinking, we may have a blowout win or maybe a big win. Now they're thinking, how can we stretch this lead as far as possible and not let the Whalers come back at all?
Whalers need to be able to dig a comeback out of their bag of tricks. They've had a tough start to this season. We'll talk about that in a second, as that one's put just wide of Chase Vaught. Came off the stick of Logan Alves. But the start to New Bedford's season, Carter, not exactly ideal if you're head coach Chase Elena. 15-3 loss at Norton, followed by an 11-1 loss at Westport, and then an 8-2 loss versus your in-city rival in Greater New Bedford, Voc-Tech. So the start, at least, to the game for this one has to put a smile on the face of Chase Elaine.
Yeah, I mean, coach is definitely impressed with this team and how they've handled themselves here in this the first quarter and a chunk into the second. Now they have possession offense. Let's see what they can do, and hopefully, maybe for their sake, put it in the back of the net.
Whalers trying to draw within 1. Matthew Pereira going east to west, turns back. Pereira trying to feed it across. It was picked off almost cleanly as ever by Kalani Mari, and now he's on the charge. Mari has Rodriguez with him to his right. Kalani Mari fakes. Now he'll retreat. Angel Gonzalez will slow it down for Somerset Berkley. Just about a minute and 10 seconds gone here in quarter number 2. Aaron Preston going low for Caius Mari. Both offenses have shown an ability to run from behind the goal at times in this one. Sam Raposa shut down on the defensive end by Alexander DePina Macedo. So the Raiders will try again. Mari for Aaron Preston. Preston a couple of fakes. And now he'll switch. Preston taking his time, goes across for Sam Raposa, and Raposa trying to feed it over to the far side. Kalani Mari, a bit of a botched pass there. Out of bounds, and possession shifting to the Whalers.
I mean, kind of a botched pass there, but you got to, for the Raiders, you really got to like the possession they've had to start out this quarter. I mean, it's definitely prevailing as great steal there by Mari.
Kalani Mari moving in, his shot skips wide. Raiders will keep possession as Mari and others won the race against Emilio Tirado, who And a rare move for him, at least in the early portion of this one, coming out of his goal to try and beat a couple of the Raider attackers in a foot race. However, he was unsuccessful. A long pass connecting with Gavin Rodriguez. He's ambushed right away. Rodriguez had it pushed off of his stick for the moment, but he'll grab it once again. Gavin Rodriguez below. That's Caius Mari. Under 10 to play in the half. Still a 4-2 Raider advantage as the scoring has slowed down here in quarter number 2 thus far. Both coaches barking orders from their bench. Somerset Berkley in no rush. Up by 2 already, having a strong start to their second contest of this 2025 season. Kalani Mari sees a lane, and now he's on the move. Mari, the hop shot! Getting just enough of a piece of it was Emilio Dorado. Ball going out of bounds in the general area of the benches. Looks like Somerset Berkley will have possession as it was last touched by New Bedford. Now in the middle of his defensive end, it's Jake Da Silva. Da Silva looking forward, skips on the ground once, but finds its way nonetheless to Sam Raposa. Raposa on the charge, into the middle, finds Preston. He was thinking for that backdoor top shelf tuck-in, put it just a bit wide.
Yeah, I mean, bro, you got to like that play, a little cut to the back door, once again by Aaron Preston, and he's really just finding the open space here in this early part of the game, and that's why he's on the score sheet.
Kalani Mari battling with Tommy Mock. Or my apologies, Javin Irizarry was the one he was battling with. Pass into the middle intended for Angel Gonzalez, never made it there. Raiders and Whalers battling for it at near midfield. Coming away with it is Angel Gonzalez. Gonzalez met almost right away by Dakota Matthew. Ball back on the ground again. Everyone trying to get their hands on it, but Angel Gonzalez will be the one to seal it. And now Lindbergh going low for Caius Mari. Mari pivoting as he tries to shake Dakota Matthew. Matthew's not going anywhere. Trying to hold down the fort on the back end for the New Bedford Whalers, who are still seeking a little bit more of an offensive charge to try and draw even with the Raiders after digging themselves into a bit of a hole in quarter number 1. A whiff on that pass attempt by Angel Gonzalez as he was pushed off the ball by Luis Vergara. Now Gonzalez has it again and is able to skip it in from about 15 yards out. Beautiful work there by Angel Gonzalez.
Yeah, great play there by Gonzalez. Really a no-give-up effort. He lost the ball towards the middle of the field, then collected it back, went through 2 guys, and it was just a great individual effort, and that's the type of players that Coach Stragagali really likes.
Phil Strangolagali has to be very happy with the effort from his Raiders thus far. A 5-2 advantage. And Carter, if you're head coach Chase Elaine, what do you think your message is right now to your Whalers? Obviously, you're having a strong performative start to this contest. Not exactly the result you're looking for on the scoreboard necessarily, but the 2-goal effort, especially from one of your best players, and the kind of shift to more of an even offensive zone presence between these 2 squads in the last, 10 or so minutes, definitely has to be a positive spot for the young head coach Elaine.
Yeah, I mean, they really have to go back to what they did at the end of that first quarter. They really piggybacked off Dominguez, and he slotted in 2 goals. So that's a great guard sell there by Gavin Rodriguez.
Rodriguez will lead the charge for the Raiders. Rodriguez, the spin move, trying to get himself some space in the middle, but whacking at him on the back end was Jelmaine Velez. Rodriguez still with it, runs into 3 bodies. Whistle to stop play, looks like a push. So it'll remain Raider possession. I'd probably say officially that would most likely be unnecessary roughness. But yet again, I am calling my first lacrosse game in just a hair over 3 years, so please bear with me as I get myself used to this sport once again. But of course, so glad you all could join us here today on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. Elliot Lindbergh on the far side will go below. That's Caius Mari. Mari had a lane into the middle for Preston, but it closed very quickly thanks to some good heads-up defensive play by Carlos Luz. Now Kalani Mari firing just over the crossbar. And honestly, Carter, I think you have to give some credit there to Emilio Tirado. He did a good job covering that near side of the goal, which caused Mari to have to try and put it into basically a credit card with window there.
Yeah, I mean, Tirado's really going to have to find a way because he's faced a lot of shots early on in this game. And he has to find a way just to keep the ball in net at any way possible because this Raider team has been piling on shots, and it doesn't look like they're going to stop anytime soon.
5 minutes left in the half. 5-2 Raiders. New Bedford looking to pick up a ground ball in their offensive end, but Kalani Mari, who's had a lot of ground balls fielded today, will give himself a few more and move into his offensive end. Mari fakes the pass into the middle for Preston and goes below for his brother. Now Aaron Preston. The give and go with Caius Mari. Preston trying to work with Jalmain Velez right in front of him. Didn't see a lane, so once again, Caius Mari with it, below goal. Mari trying to charge back in front. He is glued to by Dakota Matthews, so he'll give it up. New Bedford stiffening up on defense, trying to prevent any more goals from the Raiders and potentially propel their offense. I'm sure we'll be on hat-trick watch for Misael Dominguez the rest of this one anytime he touches ball. Now Caius Mari into the middle trying to find Preston. It was whacked at afterward by Elliot Lindbergh, but once again, Carlos Lux, a defensive juggernaut, especially at that back post whenever Somerset Berkley has possession on the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's really been an impressive defensive effort by the Whalers today. They've really been keeping the Raiders outside and not really allowing them to get really close to net. They've been keeping them really outside, so it's actually, despite they're down 3 goals, I think the defensive effort's been really good.
A lot of positives defensively for Chase Elaine to highlight during halftime, but I think his main focus in terms of adjustments at the half, Carter, has to be finding a way to gain possession and get in some of those passing lanes in order to turn D into O.
Yeah, I mean, as you say that, they gain possession, and I really like how the Raiders have also been relentless on the defensive end. They haven't really allowed them to really, as you said, as the ref calls a slash, but as the Raiders have really just been keeping him out of the defensive zone. They've barely gone past the halfway line, and the only times they did, they scored.
Elliot Lindbergh finding Caius Mari. Mari has had a bit of a tough time shaking Dakota Matthew in this one. This time he gets the upper hand into the middle. Lindbergh, he scores! And give Elliot Lindbergh the hat trick first. 6-2 Raiders. As we look towards halftime, still 2.5 to play.
I mean, yeah, just a little defensive lapse of coverage there by the Whalers. We were preaching how they were keeping the Raiders away from front of the net. Right there, they just scramble in front of the net. An easy goal for Elliot Lindbergh.
Now 5 goals on the season for Lindbergh. That gives him the team lead. And back to midfield we go for another face-off. And once again, Javin Irizarry will do battle with Brady Raymond. And I was talking about bad to worse situations. Now New Bedford in that situation. as they'll be down, it looks like 2 men here to the Raiders, so not ideal at all when a couple minutes ago we were talking about New Bedford potentially trying to draw even. Now it looks like the Raiders could really blow this game open before we even hit halftime, Carter.
Yeah, and I think that was always the goal, especially when the Raiders seen the past results for the Whalers. They thought they were going to blow them out, and it looks like at the end of this first half, if with these 2 penalties, they can really do what they really wanted to do at the start of the game.
New Bedford coming away with possession here. Trying to walk toward goal was Javanir Azari. He was met by multiple Raiders. And now Gavin Rodriguez looking into the middle, trying to find Kalani Mari. It skips just behind him a bit, but nonetheless, Mari will gather it. Kalani Mari settling it down at about the 30-yard line, goes across for Gavin Rodriguez, a bit of a mishandle. But the potential future Maine Maritime lacrosse player will regather. Rodriguez, the long shot, just wide, and what a missile it was. I have to credit my 25-20 vision on that one. I'm not sure many people even saw that ball come across the goal. A nice pass back in front. A one-timer try doesn't work, but Caius Mari coming from behind, back in front, tucks it in. 7-2 Raiders with 1:41 to go in the half.
I mean, to go back on that shot from Gavin Rodriguez, with that long pole, you can really generate a lot of power in that shot, and you saw it there. It was pretty powerful. And as for that goal, it was really just a great play all around. Caius Mari cutting around the middle. They were trying to cover the back door for Aaron Preston, which left Caius Mari an inch of room, and he put it at the back of the net.
A lot of things going right for Somerset Berkley. That was the similar story in the early portion of quarter 1. Now we're seeing it in the late portion of quarter 2. So that's another good thing that you have to like if you're Phil Strangolagali, because you're seeing your team be able to sustain pressure not only just at the beginning of the game, but deep into the trenches of the game as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're really just piling on the scoring here. And there's been players, really good players on the Raider squad who haven't scored yet. Like, for a great example, Gavin Rodriguez, as he fires it over the net, he hasn't even scored yet, and he was one of the leading scorers and one of the top players on this Raider team. So once he gets going, this game can really break open.
And if you're in New Bedford right now, Carter, you really don't want this game to break open. A tough start to the season, being outscored 34-6 in their first 3 matchups, and in terms of deficit, this is probably the Whalers' closest game thus far, as a flag goes flying on a hop shot attempt by Angel Gonzalez. This is going to spell more trouble for the Whalers as they will go a man down once again. Tommy Mock going to be called, it looks like, for that one. Carter, did you catch the specification of the penalty on that one? Yeah, perhaps there wasn't one there. I saw a flag go originally. Maybe it was rescinded, but nonetheless under a minute. Oh, no, I was right. So Raiders a man up here. Ball going out of bounds on the far side next to the Raider bench. Last touch was by the Whalers. Raiders will keep it for now, but actually I was wrong. It was last touch by the Raiders. Whalers have possession. It's a learning experience for you and I, Mr. Cotter. Both of us, big hockey, football, and basketball guys, but lacrosse definitely a bit foreign to the both of us. But I do promise any of our viewers that as the season goes on, we'll probably sound like seasoned vets. New Bedford Whalers, their first offensive zone presence in a bit. So they might actually be able to get set up here, and perhaps we could see another onslaught resembling the end of quarter 1. Bit of mishandling on the give and go between Irizarry and Kudo. Both players still fighting as Rodriguez charges forward. He got tripped up. As this first half will come to a close, a 7-2 Somerset Berkley advantage, and they have been propelled by scoring from all across the board, but an exceptional first half performance by Elliot Lindbergh with 3 goals of his own. Misael Dominguez with both tallies that still remain as the only 2 for New Bedford as we look towards halftime. Once again, 7-2 Raiders. Carter Sylvia and I will see you on the other side of halftime here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. Back here at Hanson Memorial Stadium, JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you for Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. And Carter, as the sun starts to be eclipsed by the clouds, the Raiders are starting to eclipse a late first quarter effort by New Bedford that saw them nearly drawing even after a couple of tallies by Misael Dominguez. But ever since then, especially in that second quarter as we begin this second half, it was all Somerset Berkley to close half number 1.
Yeah, and it really came down to the Raiders had constant pressure in the offensive zone as they are right now, and just constant shots. Last game, 30 shots against a tough Taunton team. In this game, they've probably at least had over 30 shots just in that first half. So it's definitely been an impressive performance by the Raiders.
A long try on the way from Kalani Mari going just wide on the far side of Emilio Tirado. Tirado's made a couple of big saves already in this one. As you know, as Carter was saying earlier, he has been peppered with shots and a beautiful backdoor pass. Aaron Preston setting up his man and Elliot Lindbergh, the 4th tally for the SB captain, and it is 8-2 Raiders.
I mean, just a great cut backdoor from Elliot Lindbergh. Aaron Preston, one of those players who's always observant of the field, always knows where players are, and it was a great example right there as he found Lindbergh backdoor for an easy goal.
I don't like to make guesses, Carter, but that had to at least have been a 10 to 15 yard pass that Preston made across to Lindbergh, because Preston was a good of a ways away from the goal on the far side of the field, and he had Lindbergh cutting in. It was almost like hitting a wide receiver on a slant in football. Very perfectly executed. Rodriguez looking for his first on many shot attempts, puts another one wide. Raiders will keep it. A fast start to this second half for Somerset Berkley. A tally in the first minute. Right now an 8-2 Raider advantage after they led 7-2 at the half. Kalani Mari trying to walk towards the goal, was met by Carlos Lux. Lux staying with Mari as Mari pivots. Kalani Mari in the middle, just wide on the skip shot. As once again, Emilio Tirado making it difficult for the Raiders to pick corners, because he does take up a good portion of the net and has kind of a similarity. I hate to draw comparisons between sports, but he kind of reminds me, Emilio Tirado does, of kind of like a Hendrik Lundqvist type goalie. He's very conservative in that way. He, doesn't come too far out, but definitely knows how to play his angles. He does.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been rock solid in that net, despite letting up 7 goals in that first half. So I've definitely liked his performance.
Gonzalez putting that one wide. Caius Mari will win the foot race against Dakota Matthews, so the Raiders keep it once more. 10:04 left. Clock stoppage time here in quarter number 3. Elliot Lindbergh, the most recent goal scorer for the Raiders, going to work on the near side. Lindbergh will go back low for Caius Mari and head towards the middle. Mari, the spin move to evade Matthew, back in front and keeping it out. For the moment is Emilio Tirado. Whalers will get help from the men in black and white stripes. Carter, did you catch anything there about why?
I mean, I think it was a warding for the Whalers. So honestly, great defense there. Caius Mari was really cutting to the middle. He went around 3 guys. He had 3 guys on him. It was honestly a great job by the defense just to get the ball away from him, because usually in those positions he slots in the back of the net.
Raiders offensively not going anywhere. Rodriguez with speed into the middle. Gavin Rodriguez got smacked on his stick before he could even get the shot off. Looks like the guy getting his stick And there was Jilmaine Velez. Now Kalani Mari trying to work from his defensive zone into offensive. Whalers trying to argue that Mari stepped out of bounds, but the referees disagree with under 9 to play in quarter 3. Lindbergh going low for Caius Mari. Mari for brother Kalani, just over the goal. Looks like Caius Mari won that race again. Mari will find Aaron Preston. Preston starts a cycle around the perimeter for the Raiders. That has been a key part of their offensive game plan thus far. Sam Raposa, the hop shot, he scores! Sam Raposa, his first of the game. And scoring coming from everyone in this one for the Raiders. That is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 different goal scorers for the boys in white.
Yeah, great play there by Sam Raposa. Calling a ISO on the right side of the field before going in, and it was honestly a great play by him. Went around 2 guys, even got slashed really high on his stick, kept possession, went and got a nice, easy goal, and it was definitely an impressive all-around effort.
I don't know if they call that a hop shot or if there's a different terminology for it, but I'm going to use it until somebody tells me not to. A excellent finish there by Sam Raposa on the hop shot. It is 9-2 Raiders, a 7-goal advantage. And this game's starting to look much more like the other contests for New Bedford thus far this season, but still plenty of time left for the Whalers to mount a comeback. Preston across for Lindbergh, who fires, and a nice scoop up there by Emilio Tirado. Tirado trying to go with the long pass. Getting his stick in that lane was Elliot Lindbergh. Tirado being backed up by Dakota Matthew. He also is struggling to get the long pass going. Matthew tries again, and that one finds its way onto the walking track and up into the bleachers just to our right. Raiders will get possession after it went out of bounds. Kalani Mari will give way to Gabe Gonzalves. Gonzalves calling shots. Gabe charges forward, getting cross-checked from behind, trying to get into the middle. Lost the ball for the moment, but he'll try and get it off the ground. He cannot, as it skips over to Aaron Preston. Preston already has one in this one, looking to grab another and make it back-to-back games with 2 goals. Preston tries to skip it, kept out by Tirado. Ball's on the deck just in front of Tirado. Grabbing it for the Raiders is Will Lindbergh. Raiders setting back up on the perimeter. Kalani Mari directs the troops and charges forward. Kalani cuts into the middle, scores! Kalani Mari, second of the game for the Joseph Case Jr., and the Raiders just keep piling it on, 10-2, Somerset Berkley.
Yeah, great play there by Kalani Mari. Really just, once again, finding that open space with the ball, running to it, and prevailing on a nice top corner goal.
Raiders into the double digits. And Carter, I don't want to get too prophetic here, but I do believe that is the first time that the Raiders have broken double digits in scoring in program history. Prove me wrong. Even if it isn't the first time, it's one of the few times. So this is a big milestone nonetheless for the 1-0 Raiders.
You would be correct, John. Their highest goals they've scored last year was 4, so great job there with the correct answer on that one. But just the Raiders' effort today has really been impressive. They had some adversity in the end of that first quarter with 2 goals by Dominguez for the Whalers, so definitely an impressive effort as Gavin Rodriguez comes down.
Rodriguez had it pushed off of his stick. Chasing it down is Aaron Preston. Preston has it stripped from him. A nice slap off there by Dakota Matthew. Matthew trying to push it forward to start a charge for the Whalers, but Gavin Rodriguez grabs the ground ball and finds Kalani Mari. Mari, the most recent goal scorer for the Raiders. Starts a perimeter cycle that makes its way down low. Caius Mari going back in front, could not find Aaron Preston. It's scooped up by Irizarry for New Bedford. Javen Irizarry bobbing and weaving through multiple Raiders, trying to evade Gabe Gonzalez right now as he retreats to the alley. And now the multi-goal scorer, Misael Dominguez, working on Gonzalez. Dominguez in the middle, just wide. On the far side of Chase Vaught. New Bedford wins the foot race, so they keep it. Xavier Kudo starting it out. Kudo for Dominguez. Seems most of the offense is running through number 17 in red today. Dominguez working on Rodriguez, gets a lane. The hop shot, he scores! Third goal of the game for Misael Dominguez, doing it all for the Whalers as they try to chip into the Somerset Berkley lead.
As I said right before halftime, they really have to piggyback off Misael Dominguez. He's really been a crazy offensive threat for this Whalers team, and I think for the rest of the season too. They also, not just Dominguez, but they need a lot more players to step up in his type of role and score a lot of goals.
Misael Dominguez unconscious in this game. It seems like every time that he touches ball, there is some sort of big offensive opportunity for the New Bedford Whalers. 5:06 to go in quarter three. It is 10-3 now in favor of the Raiders. And perhaps, Carter, that goal by Misael Dominguez could propel New Bedford back into this game. Whalers looking for another as that one is kept out by a combination of Vaught and others. Vaught, a long pass up the field. Trying to chase it down is Lucas Enos. Enos getting help from Aaron Preston as he grabs the ground ball. Enos tries the spin move. He was chopped down by Dakota Matthew. Looks like Matthew will be warned for that one. Enos stepping out for the Raiders, and Angel Gonzalez coming back in, looking to grab another tally in this one. Rodriguez back for Gonzalez. Angel settling it down as Rodriguez heads to the bench to be replaced by Sam Raposa. Now Caius Mari. Below goal working on Dakota Matthew. Mari finding Lindbergh, and now Kalani Mari. Mari looking very confident offensively in this one, as many times elected to just cut towards the middle himself. And sometimes even it works. Lindbergh, the skip shot just wide, as lunging towards it was Emilio Tirado. Raiders will restart. Kalani Mari into the middle. Aaron Preston, top shelf for number 8. His second of the game. Give him 4 on the season. And the Raiders lead back to where it was before, now 11-3 in favor of Somerset Berkley.
Very impressed with Aaron Preston's performance tonight. Piggybacking really off the great game he had against Taunton. And right there again, just cut into that open space in the middle. Great cut by Aaron. Cut to the middle. And in usual fashion for him this season, he puts the ball in the back of the net.
An 8-goal advantage for the Somerset Berkley Raiders with 3.5 to play here in quarter 3. Another draw win for Brady Raymond, at least at first glance. Raymond in there battling with Rodriguez for it, but Javen Irizarry comes away with it. He'll charge forward for the Raiders. Irizarry skips it over for the Whalers. Clock stopped with 3:13 as restarting it for the Whalers is Xavier Kudo. Kudo will find Misael Dominguez. Dominguez using a screen from Tommy Mock. Dominguez charging forward on Brady Mello. Dominguez just wide, as getting down on a knee to try and keep that one out was Chase Vaught. He may have gotten a piece of it, but nonetheless, New Bedford still pressuring with under 3 to play in the quarter. And if you're Chase Elaine, the head coach for New Bedford, you need a couple of tallies here at the end of the quarter to try to shift the momentum a bit into the Whalers' favor.
Yeah, I mean, they just got to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net. Dominguez, as he puts it in the back of the net.
4th goal of this one for Misael Dominguez, as it has been all about him on the offensive end for the Whalers. Now 11-4 Raiders, and Carter, we're talking about it. Maybe Chase Elaine is giving that message right now to just be aggressive. Feed Misael as much as you can, and maybe good things will happen.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, just feed him and see what happens. But I think for the Raiders, they got to see this as a team. A better teams could point out this weakness in their defense. So I think Coach S, as we like to call him, in practice is definitely going to fix up that weakness in the defense.
Coach Strangolagali, the inaugural coach of this Somerset Berkley lacrosse program. And honestly, a lot of credit to be given to him because the improvement from year 1 to year 2 has been substantial. And it's evident, even in the early going of this very young season. Out of the fray comes Gavin Rodriguez. Rodriguez, another long shot, keeping it out by getting a piece of it, was Emilio Tirado. It hit the top of his webbing and then skipped wide. Clock stopped with 2:19 as Caius Mari will restart it for the Raiders once more. Lindbergh into the middle for Preston. There's the hat trick for Aaron. 2 different Raiders with a hat trick in this one as Aaron Preston joins Elliot Lindbergh, and it is 12-4 Raiders.
Great play there by Aaron Preston. Really just taking around defender, shooting around defender. Kind of used him as a screen like you would do in hockey. And once again, slots it and puts it in the back of the net.
Back to midfield we go for another installment of Raymond versus Irizarry. Unless a last-second change is made, which it looks like that might be the case. Now Misael Dominguez will do battle with his number partner in Brady Raymond, as Dominguez will replace Javen Irizarry, who took a majority of the face-offs earlier on in this one. Dominguez unable to win it. Raiders will take possession with Kalani Mari. Mari, another Raider who's nearing a hat trick in this one. He has 2. Perhaps looking for number 3 here. Mari dancing. There's number 3 for number 3. And 3 different Raiders with hat tricks in this one.
I mean, great move there by Kalani Mari. Once again, just taking on the whole team pretty much by himself and puts it, as we call in hockey, in the 5-hole.
I feel like a good amount of hockey terminology carries over to lacrosse, so hey, maybe that is what they call it in Lax, 5-hole. I'm gonna have to consult some of my buddies from college. I have a couple of friends that played Endicott College men's lacrosse, so I might have to give them a call tonight and have them rate my performance here as a broadcaster in this first game. Probably not going to get a very high score in that regard, but nonetheless, 13-4 in favor of the Raiders. 1:35 seconds left here in quarter 3, and another different face-off taker for this New Bedford squad. Now Logan Alves stepping in to do battle with Brady Raymond. Alves comes out with the ball on that one. Maybe he needs to be more of a fixture in the face-offs for the Whalers the rest of this season. Alves pivoting as he tries to shake William Lindbergh, and he will. Alves goes down low. Now a pass back into the middle. Ricocheted off a couple of sticks, and now it's on the grass. Battling for it for the Whalers is Alexander DePina Macedo. DePina Macedo getting help from Logan Alves, and a whistle to pause play. Exactly 1 minute left in the third quarter, a 13-4 Somerset Berkley advantage as they try to grab their first home victory in program history. Logan Alves moving forward for New Bedford. He goes low for Matthew Pereira. Pereira at the side of the goal, goes below goal for Braden Medeiros. Medeiros finds the man himself, Misael Dominguez. Dominguez dancing into the middle, gets the ball slapped away from him by Gavin Rodriguez. Rodriguez up the field on a hop finds Lindbergh. Lindbergh for Preston, puts it wide. 21 seconds left. Caius Murray, the restart. Clock ticking again, 15. Caius Murray with 10 seconds. He'll look to make the final move. Murray spinning once, then twice, could not shake Dakota Matthew. 2 seconds, the shot from outside goes just wide by Sam Raposa as quarter number 3 comes to an end with the Raiders proving that they just might be developing into quite a legit lacrosse program here in the south coast of Massachusetts. Carter Sylvia and I look towards quarter number 4 as we take another pause here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. Back once more for quarter number 4 here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia along with you. A 13-4 Somerset Berkley lead as they have benefited from 3 separate players getting hat tricks in this one. Gavin Rodriguez looking to get another fast start to a quarter going for the Raiders, puts it just wide. Rodriguez has to be due for a goal in this game, Carter. He's had numerous scoring opportunities, just hasn't been able to find the back of the net yet.
He's really been relentless on the offensive end today. It's just, as you said, hasn't put a ball back in the net. But I'm sure throughout this fourth quarter he'll be trying.
Caius Murray looking to get a spin move to work on Dakota Matthew, but Matthew has been locked down on the defensive end in this one for the Whalers. A skipping ball makes its way all the way down into the New Bedford offensive end. Braden Medeiros had it initially, now Misael Dominguez. Dominguez fakes, cuts, fires. Looks like a couple of Raiders got a piece of their stick on that shot as it sailed over the goal. Restarting for the Whalers is Xavier Kudo. Kudo will find Dominguez once more. Dominguez, the spin move, trying to do another. It works. Dominguez, the skip shot. That one may have gone off of Chase Vaught. Battling for the ball with Rodriguez is Tristan Santos for the Whalers. Rodriguez will get the benefit of the call there. And now Chase Vaught looking for a passing lane. Gets it up to Kalani Murray. Murray, one of 3 Raiders with hat tricks in this one. Him, Elliot Lindbergh, and Aaron Preston accounting for 10 goals of the Raiders' 13 in this one. Other goals coming from Sam Raposa, Angel Gonzalez, and Caius Murray. Raiders setting up on the perimeter of their offensive zone. Sam Raposa dancing in. His shot was blocked down before it could even leave his stick. Raiders keeping it as Kalani Murray got the ground ball, and now Aaron Preston on the near side. Preston going up top. A long one fired on by Angel Gonzalez is stopped by Emilio Tirado. Angel gets an interception there. Rodriguez looking to the middle, couldn't find anyone. Looks like a backdoor tuck in there for Elliot Lindbergh. Give him 5 on the day to lead all scorers on both sides.
And I want to correct you there, John. I think it was a goal by Sam Raposa. But as you described before, it was definitely as you described, great backdoor feed. And really just the ball was on the ground, scrambling for it, everyone trying to find it, and ball ended up back in the net.
Carter would be right. My apologies. Second of the game for Sam Raposa. A lot of bodies in the area around Emilio Tirado. Under 10 to play. A 14-4 Raider lead as they have gone up 10 plus on this New Bedford squad. A lot of firsts in this game. First time over 10 plus goals for the Raiders, and potentially the first time winning at home in program history. But Misael Dominguez will have something to say about that the rest of the way. Dominguez starts a perimeter cycle. Braden Medeiros will switch spots with Xavier Kudo, and now Dominguez once more. Misael into the middle, just wide. Chase Vaught had it read, too. He was already leaning toward the near side of his goal. Now Braden Medeiros will give way to Kudo, and now Dominguez. Dominguez slipped up as he was locked into a nice one-on-one battle with Gavin Rodriguez. Rodriguez will give a nice pat on the head salute to Dominguez as he'll step off. Looks like there was a penalty against him. Carter, slash?
Yeah, it looks like it was a slash there, John, but you really got to like the defensive. Actually, I'm going to correct myself on that one. I think it was actually a cross-check by Gavin Rodriguez as he was trying to back Dominguez away from him. But you got to like the defensive effort by Rodriguez. I mean, Coach Stragagali really loves effort and really just strength by his players, so definitely a good display there.
Right off the whistle, a nice shot on is stopped off the stick of Logan Alves by Chase Vaught. Raiders looking to clear. They cannot. Dominguez with it. Misael Dominguez. Oh, almost. Foot race for it. Looks like the Whalers won that foot race thanks to the quick feet of Matthew Pereira. And Pereira, the senior attacker, will restart it for New Bedford. Pereira looking back out in front. He was trying to feed Logan Alves with just a bit above his stick's reach. And the Raiders will get possession as it goes out of bounds. Whiffing on that pass attempt was Will Lindbergh, but he'll get it back. Lindbergh able to get by Logan Alves. Going across for brother Elliot. Elliot Lindbergh finding Gabe Gonzalves below goal. Gonzalves, a multi-sport athlete, as Carter and I were talking about earlier, one of the members of Somerset Berkley's ice hockey team. Gonzalves trying to fire from way out. Puts it just wide on a skip of Emilio Tirado. Under 8 to play in the game. A long heave up the field by Dakota Matthew finds its way right to Alexander Depina Macedo, and he'll move forward. Depina Macedo had his shot blocked partially. Nonetheless, the ball finds its way to Misael Dominguez. Dominguez with Cooper Grishy on him into the middle. What a stop by Chase Vaught. Some great reflexes there for number 6.
Yeah, I mean, great save there by Chase Vaught. Some of his seniors on this team really were high on Chase Vaught and his ability to save shots, and it really showed there as he made a really nice save on a top corner shot.
Now under 7 to play. Vaught with the ball looking forward. Vaught nearly had it whacked away from him at the last second by Matthew Pereira, but he got it off just in time. Now Angel Gonzalez moving forward. Gonzalez will find Elliot Lindbergh. Lindbergh below goal for Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the spin move, looking back in front. Lost the handle on it as he tried to converge on Emilio Tirado. New Bedford ball as Matthew sends it far and high up the field, trying to grab it for the Raiders, and unable to do so was Kristaps Payton. Now Rodriguez to grab it off ground. Gavin lost the handle initially. He'll get help from Elliot Lindbergh. Ball still on the ground. Matthew trying to grab it for the Whalers, and he'll get some support from Tristan Santos. Santos moving forward. Had it chopped away from him. Now Preston, the long shot going just wide. I'm not sure if he was looking for the shot or to feed Gabe Gonzalez. But nonetheless, Gonzalez won the foot race, and he will restart for the Raiders with 5:48 to play. And Carter, as we look ahead at the schedules for these two squads, a tough stretch of games coming up for the New Bedford High School Whalers. 8th of April against Dennis Yarmouth at home, and then they head on the road on the 10th to play East Bridgewater, followed by a big tilt against Dighton Rehoboth at home on the 14th. And that Dighton Rehoboth team, Carter, defeated New Bedford's first opponent of the season, Norton, by a double-digit total. So New Bedford's got some really heavy tests coming up in the upcoming weeks.
But I think in this game, they've proved themselves that they can put the ball in the back of the net when the adds a great shot there.
That's Logan Alves, as he becomes the first goal scorer that isn't named Misael Dominguez in this game for New Bedford. And honestly, at this point, the Whalers playing for pride, and that's a prideful goal there for Logan Alves, as he thanks the big man upstairs after that one. 5 minutes, 11 seconds left to go here at Hanson Memorial. A 14-5, 9-goal Somerset Berkley lead. And positives all around in this game for the boys in white. Honestly, if you're Phil Strangle-Galley, probably one of the better performances you've seen by this program in your tenure.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been an impressive performance. There's obviously some things you got to work on, of course, like maybe their defensive zone coverage hasn't been as good as they want it in this game, but you still scored 14 goals and probably counting throughout the rest of this game. So it's definitely an impressive performance by the Raiders, and the coach will definitely be proud.
And Carter, let's put you in Chase Elaine's shoes. What do you think are the two major adjustments that you can take away from this game that are just essential for your Whalers squad as they move forward into probably the toughest stretch of games in their season?
I'm going to point out one main thing that Coach Elaine is probably going to address to his team, that they're capable. They scored five goals against this Raider team, which is what also that Taunton Tigers team did as well on Monday. So you gotta say to your team, well, there's definitely some talented players with some skill. So I think the message got to be, your team, you're capable. Let's go show how capable you really are.
And to look ahead on the schedule for Somerset Berkley, next game they will play April 9th as they head to play the Apponequet Lakers. Next couple of games after that, April 11th against the combination of ORR and Bourne, and then the 23rd, a big test on the road for the Raiders as they take on the Fairhaven Blue Devils, one of the more highly touted lacrosse programs here in the South Coast.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely an impressive program, especially with one of their leaders on that team, Justin Marks, who's a member of the football and hockey team for Fairhaven / Old Rochester for hockey. So it's definitely going to be a tough test, and I'm sure the Raiders will be ready.
Raiders have plenty of time to prepare, and this young program getting better and better by the day. Preston unable to come out of the fray with that one. Sending it up the field is Carlos Lux on a bounce, and grabbing it is Misael Dominguez. Dominguez has Matthew Pereira crashing with him. He'll spin. Dominguez scores once again on a skip shot this time. 5 goals in this game for Misael Dominguez, as now he is the leading scorer on both sides in terms of individual scoring efforts.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been an impressive performance by Dominguez despite the scoreline, and I think he's really going to carry this this performance on for the rest of this games and maybe propel New Bedford to maybe get a couple wins this season.
Be sure to stay tuned with us after this game goes final. We will have some post-game interviews. Gavin Rodriguez will join us, and we may even see AP Aaron Preston as well. So we will see all of you hopefully after this game finishes up for our post-game interviews. Once again, so glad that you all could join us here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. That goes out to both our viewers from here in the Somerset Berkley community, as well as anyone who might be watching on the New Bedford side. And another goal for the Whalers. That was a snipe to the low left corner by Logan Alves, his second of the game.
And the Whalers are really clawing back in this game, putting it back down. It was already single digits, but now back down to they have half of the Raiders scoreline, 14-7. So you really got, as I said before, they're definitely capable of scoring. Now they just got to show it through a full game instead of just the fourth quarter.
And now I can officially say it, the New Bedford Whalers have now scored more goals in this game than they have in the 3 other games they've played this season combined. So a strong offensive effort that leads us into a timeout. 3 minutes, 34 seconds left here at Hanson Memorial Stadium. Raiders up 14-7 against the visiting New Bedford Whalers. Carter Sylvia and I will see you on the other side of this break here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia back with you for the final 3 minutes and 34 seconds of this boys lacrosse matchup between your Somerset Berkley Raiders and the visiting New Bedford High School Whalers. A 14-7 Raider advantage that was springboarded by a strong first quarter performance. Gavin Rodriguez trying to work on the alley. Looks like it will be Whalers ball, and that is indeed the case. Logan Alves, who has a couple of tallies here in the second half, going east to west right now. Under 3 left in this fourth quarter. Alves finds Matthew Pereira. Pereira starts a cycle that makes its way to who else but Misael Dominguez. Dominguez trying a weird angle shot there, putting it wide. New Bedford will keep it. 2:41 left. Restarting is Matthew Pereira. Pereira will find Braden Medeiros. Medeiros looking to dance toward the middle. Goes down low, Pereira. Pereira for Dominguez. His shot. Nice stop with the top of the stick by Chase Vaught. Now on the charge, trying to grab it off ground is Rodriguez. He'll get some assistance from Kalani Mari. Mari sends a man to the deck. In Xavier Kudo. Kudo back up on his feet quickly. New Bedford will have possession. Logan Alves gets the Whalers started here with just a hair above 2 minutes left. If New Bedford can get a couple quick, this might become interesting. Medeiros looking for a passing lane, trying to go into the middle. Alves was there. The pass was just too low for him to grab. Now Lucas Enos charging forward for the Raiders, who at this point have to be in some sort of clock killer mode. Gavin Rodriguez still looking for his first goal. Rodriguez dances by Dakota Matthew moving in. That one's wide. Caius Mari giving way to Aaron Preston with 1.5 minutes to go here at Hanson Memorial. The sun peeking back through the clouds again, providing a nice backdrop to the end of this one. Angel Gonzalez trying to dance around Alexander Crespo. Crespo's making that hard, but Gonzalez comes out nonetheless. Gonzalez for Preston. Back to Gonzalez in the middle. That one blocked. Looks like it went off of Luis Vergara. Exactly 1 minute left. Raiders still with possession, as they look to maybe grab one more and put that cherry on top of that first home win Sunday. Caius Mari muscling his way through the middle. Ball on the ground, picked up and fired on for a stop by Tirado. 40 seconds left. Emilio Tirado. The heave toward the middle of the field. Trying to skip it forward to one of his guys. Getting in the way of that is Angel Gonzalez. Gonzalez still digging for it. Ball dribbling back towards the New Bedford goal again. Scooped up initially by Caius Mari as he takes a topple. And now Misael Dominguez, a nice pickup off the bounce. Dominguez up ahead, a chance, they score! A nice passing setup there, and Braden Medeiros finishing it off for the Whalers, as they'll get that little bit of extra pride here at the end. Two seconds left, so pretty much just a formality at midfield to finish this one off. 14-8 in favor of the Raiders. That will most likely be the final score, barring anything crazy off this draw. Raymond versus Kudo. This time around, as Chase Elaine liking mixing up his face-off men, and this one comes to a close after the draw. The first victory at home in program history for Somerset Berkley boys lacrosse, and the final score is 14-8 in this one. And Carter, any final thoughts before we look towards post-game interviews?
It was definitely an impressive performance by the Raiders, and it was great to be in the booth with you once again, John. And I hope this Raiders team can piggyback off these 2 wins early and have a great rest of the season.
And now Carter Sylvia and I will look towards our post-game interviews, where hopefully both Gavin Rodriguez and Aaron Preston will join us. Stay tuned, and we will be right back here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. Alrighty, welcome back in, everyone, here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia, joined by Mr. Aaron Preston and Mr. Elliot Lindbergh, 2 of the top offensive juggernauts in this game for the Somerset Berkley Raiders. And boys, first home win in program history, first back-to-back wins in program history. You guys got to be feeling on top of the world right now.
Man, it's feeling great. I mean, for the whole team, we've been wanting this win since last year when we went 0-10. It was the first year of the program, but I mean, Coach S is just ecstatic. We're all ecstatic, and we just love the game.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I'm kind of speechless. It's kind of crazy. Everyone came out swinging, scored first. It was awesome. I loved it.
And I want to add, you guys both had great individual performances today. 4 goals for you, Elliot, and 3 goals for Aaron. How do you guys feel about performance? What were the key components that made you guys so great today?
I think our chemistry, the attack chemistry, being able to pass, being able to find those looks, find those cuts, take good shots, was really good.
I think the chemistry is just great. I mean, me and Elliot have not been playing with each other for a year. Caius is new, but he's not new to lacrosse, but he is just amazing behind the net. Also, like the defense is just kind of sleeping as well, but just great chemistry is all it can be.
And last question for you two guys, because I know you want to hit the locker room. You talk a lot about chemistry. How much of this chemistry that you've built has to be credited to your head coach? Because obviously you're a brand new program, only your second year. I'm sure he kind of sets the tone and sets up that chemistry to be built.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he comes in every day with like the biggest smile on his face and just gets us ready for practice every day. I mean, we couldn't do it without him. He's just what it means, like what lacrosse is. It's just perfect.
He comes in with love. He's full of love. Always has a smile, like Aaron said. Yeah, he's just full of love. He's awesome.
A lot of awesomeness to go around here. First home victory for the Somerset Berkley Raiders boys lacrosse program in their team's history. A big moment for all of us to share, but for now, we step aside until next time. I'm JJ Sylvia. For my partner Carter Sylvia, the entire Somerset Berkley Blue Raider Studios crew, and the Somerset Access TV crew, I wish you a good rest of your Friday afternoon.